Well, here in Ashdod now in southern Israel, I'm joined by Yair Lipid of the Israeli Future Party. Thank you very much for being with us here on BBC News. Is there a sort of political consensus in Israel in support of the military action that we're seeing now in Gaza?
A total one. I mean, and I'm speaking as opposition right now. The mass majority of Israelis understand that this is a must-do operation, that it has been handled quite well so far, and the thing is, no country on earth can tolerate, on the long term, the fact that its people are being shot at by missiles. The 12,000 missiles were shot at from the Gaza Strip after the disengagement, 7 years after Israel left the area, on Israeli citizens, on women and children. Think of Liverpool or London or Birmingham being shot at constantly for years and years on. Eventually England would have said something, right?
But what about if there were a ground offensive? Because there's been quite a lot of international sympathy for Israel's position so far from people like the United States, President Obama, David Cameron in Britain. But that could run out if it escalates into a ground offensive with ground troops going in as they did 4 years ago.
Well, this is a very operational question. The thing is, there is a goal. The goal is to make sure there's peace and quiet within Israel, and Israeli citizens are not being shot at. And if we have to go in the ground, because Hamas is a terror organization, this is not a government, this is not an authority, this is a terror organization who has captured a whole region and now is holding hostage civilians. If somebody's holding hostage civilians, this is the way to operate.
But the charge is always, and you've heard it many times I'm sure, that this fighting is asymmetrical, it's disproportionate. The death toll currently 90 in Gaza, 3 civilians killed on this side of the border, and we're seeing civilians, families, women, children killed in Gaza.
You know, we were all brought up to believe that if there's a conflict, if there's a struggle, then the weaker side is always just and the stronger side is always wrong. In this case, it's the other way around. Israel is the stronger side, and yet it is just. And yet this is a democracy, a functional democracy that is doing its best in order to save the life of civilians, Palestinians included. On the other hand, the weaker side is a terror organization that has its flag is to kill innocent people, and therefore the equation is wrong this time.
Very good to talk to you, and thank you for coming to talk to us here on BBC World News.
Thank
That's Yair Lipid.